How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the LAIR. And today I'm going to try something a little bit out of my comfort zone. I call this one End-Raze Outcast'S. So let's get into it. Starting on for the X, we have 2 copies of Stonecoil Serpent. He's a 0/0 reach, trample, protection from multicolored. Stonecoil Serpent enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. 4 copies in the 2-drop, 4 copies of Raise the Alarm for 1 colorless, 1 plains instant, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. I've got 4 copies of Forbidden Friendship for 1 colorless, 1 mountain, create a 1/1 red dinosaur creature token with haste and a 1/1 human soldier creature token. On to the 3-drops, I have 4 copies of Omen of the Sun for 2 colorless and 1 plains, flash. When Omen of the Sun enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens and you gain 2 life. And then later on we can pay 2 and a plains and then sacrifice Omen of the Sun and scry 2. 2 copies of Tibble Rakish Instigator for 2 colorless and 1 mountain. Comes in at 5 loyalty. His static ability says your opponents can't gain life, and then his -2 is create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. 2 copies of Domri, Anarch of Bolas for 1 colorless, 1 swamp, 1 forest. He comes in at 3 loyalty, and his static ability says creatures you control get +1/+0. We can plus them and add either a mountain or a forest, and create creature spells you cast this turn can't be countered. And then his -2 says target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. 4 copies of March of the Multitudes for X, 1 forest and 2 plains instant. And we can use our creatures to pay for the spell with Convoke, and then we create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. On to the 4-drops, I have 2 copies of Elspeth, Sun's Nemesis for 2 colorless and 2 plains. She comes in at 5 loyalty. We can minus her for 1, and up to 2 target creatures you control each get +2/+1 until the end of turn. And then we can -2, create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. And then we can -3, and we gain 5 life. And later on we can escape her from the graveyard by paying 4 colorless and 2 plains and exiling 4 other cards from our graveyard. I have 2 copies of Ajani the Greathearted for 2 colorless, 1 forest, 1 plains. Comes in at 5 loyalty, and his static ability says creatures you control have vigilance. And then +1, we can gain 3 life, or -2, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and a loyalty counter on each other planeswalker you control. On to the 5-drops, I have 3 copies of Lukka, Coppercoat Outcast for 3 colorless and 2 mountains. He comes in at 5 loyalty. We won't really be using the +1 ability. We're more interested in the -2 ability, which says exile target creature you control, and then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card with higher converted mana cost, and put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And 3 copies of Sarkhan the Masterless for 3 colorless and 2 mountain. He comes in at 5 loyalty, and his static ability says whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. And then his +1 ability says until the end of turn, each planeswalker you control becomes a 4/4 red dragon creature and gains flying. And then his -3 ability says create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. And then onto the top end or the bottom end, whichever you want to say, we have 2 copies of Flourish. We're usually going to be casting the flower side, but sometimes we might cast the second part of this, the card. So Flower says search your library for a basic forest or plains card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. And then the second part of the card says creatures you control get +2/+2 until the end of turn. And then finally 2 copies of End-Raze Forerunners for 5 colorless and 3 forest, 7/7 vigilance, trample, and haste. And when End-Raze Forerunners enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance until the vigilance and trample until the end of the turn. So this is a NAYA tokens deck. Basically, we're just trying to flood the board with early game tokens, and then cast a March of the Multitudes at the end of their turn. And then hopefully we'll have one of our planeswalkers out, so we can either buff them all, buff a little bit more buff, and then we want to have a Lukka Copper Outcoat COPPERCOAT OUTCAST on the board, so we can -2 one of our tokens, and then find an End-Raze Forerunner once we've flooded the board with, you know, a very wide presence, and then drop an End-Raze Forerunners on them and usually finish the game. If we have multiple Planeswalkers out, we can also take advantage of Sarkhan, a little bit of defense, also more push damage, especially if we drop an End-Raze Forerunners after that. Yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. March of the Multitudes is nuts, especially if you have, you know, 8, 10 creatures out. You can usually just close out a game by itself. Stonecoil Serpent, we don't really have to worry about Lukka finding him because his cost is X. So that's why he's in there. So we'll always be guaranteed if we have a Lukka and a token to sacrifice, or I mean exile, we'll always be able to find our End-Raze Forerunners. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the mana base I've chosen. I have 3 plains, 3 mountain, 3 forest, 4 Stomping Ground, 1 Temple of Abandon, 4 Sacred Foundry, 1 Temple of Triumph, 4 Temple Garden, and 1 Temple of Plenty. We're rocking the Nicole Bolas sleeve. We have a 3.6 converted mana cost average. We're running 4 creatures with 24 lands. So let's hop into some games and see how we do. As always, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's free to you and it helps us out so much. Also, if you have any friends that are interested in Magic, please let them know about the channel. And then finally, please drop a comment on misplays, deck ideas, strategy. I read the comments daily. Other than that, thanks for watching. Vamp Gara. Okay, so got a nice 3-lander here, 2 Elspeth. We do have some double red casting costs, and I feel like this hand might be a bit slow. So let's go ahead and mulligan this. This is a little better. We do have our color base. So I guess we drop a Sarkhan here. Yeah, it's not. I think it's actually worse than our first hand, but I don't want to mulligan again. We can do our flower here. I guess I will pull a plains. Proliferate and fall hard. Okay. I've never seen this deck before. Here I'm going to play the Temple Garden because we have our mountain untapped as well as our plains. Oh, Grateful Apparition, nice. Okay. Can cast this on the end of their end step. But we're going to be in trouble here. I've never come across this deck before. Pretty cool idea. All that glitters. Wow. We have a smart ass as well. Gonna plus here,
now do you
and
see the benefits of peace?
We will not be. Forgot they had vigilance. Use it as well. What a cool idea!
one that grows no sweet.
And unfortunately, at this point, there's nothing we could do there. Once again, man, it sucks. You're just trying to have fun and you're playing these like ultra hyper aggressive decks. Sorry I couldn't really showcase that one. I mean, it was a slow starting hand, so let's hop into another one. Chris D. Valnor. Tameo. Alright, another slow hand with two landers. It's not a keepable hand here. Mulligan. This is slightly better, I guess. I think honestly here I just drop the Sarkhan. And this is probably mono red. Cycling. Some Hearts of Multitudes come back to haunt us. Cast this on the end of our friend's turn here. Bad, like, shocking into this land. You have to, right?
They can only punish you if they catch you.
I know he's going to target the Domri, but we're trying to push as much damage as possible, especially considering we shocked in the last two lands.
Right on my noggin.
Ooh. Combo there.
Doesn't always work out how you want.
We'll go ahead and pass here. Retarded combo with Ironcrag Pyromancer. Wow. Sorry guys, I'm trying to have some fun here, but apparently everybody else is not. Let me make a tweak. Here. How good is Tibble, right? I think we can just drop him and instead make our draws a little bit more consistent and play two. Also, I feel like these cards don't exist, right? Like, I don't even see these cards. So I think I'll drop 1 flower and 1 stone coil and add in 2 more lands. Let's go with 2 Fabled Passage. Alright, let's try it. Let's try it out. Oh, I cannot wait for Historic Anthology 3. Comes out on Thursday. I have a lot of good spicy deck ideas. Historic is just, I think, it needs to be permanent, and they say that they're going to keep it in a permanent format. So we'll see, but that's where I think I'm going to be spending most of my time. Standard is too limited for me, especially when you have such cool cards to work with in the last past sets. Alright, so got a 2-lander here. I do have... We'll keep this. This is at least playable. Start off with the Sacred Foundry. Next turn will be Forest. Just gonna cast Forbidden Friendship here. See if he wants to block. Mutation. Trade. Definitely. Well, at least we prevent the card draw there. I'm going to wait to play Raise the Alarm on his turn. Some East, okay. Chemical Calisthenics, nice. Still has 2 mana available now. See if he has another mutation. Alright, so let's go slow play here. Sarkhan, yeah, sure. Just go in for the damage, I guess. We're gonna end the turn. Opponent can still mutate onto Parcel V, so yikes. Oh, he just plays the Glowstone. Okay. Migratory Greathorn. Okay. long as he doesn't get trampled, we should be okay, because we can just chump block. It's a Bonder's Enclave as well, Jesus. Gem Razor. Okay. There's the trample. That hurts. So we'll be March of the Multitudes for 4 here. Here, I think we'll just go for burst damage.
Rules off of personals. Let's just fight. I've lived with animals my entire life. Explains a lot, actually.
Now the opponent has to worry about Domri here. Might be in trouble here. Cool. Damn. Burst damage versus burst damage. Can't be lucky. Hit a Karuga there that gave him the card draw to cast that. Sorry guys. Kinda got to see a little bit of action there. Let's hop into another one. Cool thing is though, with this deck, by going wide, you see how we can kind of overcome larger enemies. So we have a 4-lander, beautiful 4-lander here, but no. Let's keep it. Enter tapped here. League Guild Mage. Jesus, help me. I have so much low end in this deck. That's nice. Stone coil. See if we can get some cards out of our friend's hand here. quite an elaborate piece of work to use. Alright, let's go ahead and search for planes here. We will play our Elspeth here. Minus create some soldier tokens.
We can exact justice.
Back to the trade. There's a march. So here I'm going to minus again.
I'm proud of my comrades.
And then I guess we just wait for their end step, right? Yeah. So we'll pass. Opponent could be running counter spells though, so that would suck. That's why we're gonna wait to the end of his turn to do it. Opponent could also have like a flame sweep type deal. So we're gonna go 4 or 5. I think here I just do the Domri first. See if he has like some kind of flame sweep.
You must be mad to tussle with me.
I think the -2 here is a little bit more valuable. Well, I mean, still coming in for a lot.
I'll be back after I've licked my wounds. You'll see.
It's fine.
It's just business as usual.
Cool.
Oh, let the blighters feel the ground tremble.
Still gaining life here, so it's okay. So now we're out of the danger zone. And we'll see what our opponent wants to do here. Excellent, excellent. Wow. Finally, our first win. Alright, got ourselves a Nyforia pack here. Let's check it out. Offspring's Revenge. Still don't quite get what this card's trying to do. Maybe if it's like enter the battlefield effects. I'm not sure. Got ourselves some mastery as well. Guess we'll do Gem Razor. Let's hop into another one here. Krastos. Alright, we got a nice 3-lander, we have an early play, we have a Domri. I don't really like that End-Raze. Let's mulligan one more time. Alright, this looks better. So I think here we drop the Sarkhan. Yeah. We'll start off with the Sacred Foundry tapped. Opponent on a Umori deck. Pick up the Ajani's Greathearted. We'll cast Raise the Alarm on the end of our opponent's turn. Polywog Symbiote. Attackers. Great Horn. Let's think about this here. We'll pass. We'll do a March of the Multitudes at the end of his turn. Third bat. Fuck. That was fast. Man, picking on the 1/1 human. Down to 2. Is it even worth it now? Yeah, I guess it's not worth it now. They're Ajani's. Okay, well, still doesn't help us. Let's play Ajani's. Let's just plus here.
Now do you see the benefits of peace?
Man, it's like I'm running through these cards and I'm running 4 Raise the Alarm, 4 Omen of the Sun, 4... I just don't see these cards. It's crazy. Alright, this game's over. Man, this just feel like I'm just keep getting crappy draws, right? Well, let's hop into another one. Sword for what? Tomorrow I will definitely be playing a more competitive deck. Can't handle too many of these fun days in a row, you know? Also been learning Legends of Runeterra, suggested to me by a friend. Pretty interesting. Just played Magic for so long, it's hard to learn new things, right? Alright, so let's keep this, I guess. No big drops except for our End-Raze. Looks like we're playing Lurus Knights. That sucks. Alright, we'll play the Temple because it comes with a blade tapped. I don't need any more land at the moment, thank you. So here we'll raise the alarm at the end of their turn. What's up, buddy? What's going on? Uh-huh. Yeah, I read the email. I got it. Well, I mean, we were getting veggies and doing the cauliflower, you know, substitutes and stuff for our sides, but you didn't like that stuff. Every time I make you something healthy, you don't eat it. But yeah, we'll get back to that if you want. Of course. All right, I'm finishing up a stream. I'll call you back in a little bit, okay? Okay, love you too. Bye. What's up? Nice. That's cool. That's funny. Alright, love you too, man. Bye. don't even know if this is really worth it at the moment, right? So let's just keep getting the shit out of his hand. 3. I don't think you want to come into that. So here, unfortunately, we have to get rid of the Chandras.
You want
So
hostile?
I have to.
When I'm finished here, there'll be nothing left but dust.
Completely misinterpreted that. That was totally my fault. Sorry, I had to take a phone call from my son. Who would think this card is worth in being in this deck? Let's see here. Just add one more plains, 27 lands, and let's try this out. Here, I think I'll just start with the Temple Garden. Dice Druid, okay. Shock in the Stomping Ground. Dinosaur, see if he wants to trade. Does not. Next turn we'll play Temple Garden, raise the alarm on the end of his turn. So we're going to Temple of Triumph here. Loop is perfect. Set up a nice game ender here. Timor. Okay. Wow. What the fuck is he doing? Play the Sacred Foundry here. And play the Omen of the Sun. No attacks. What is he doing? He's got 4, 8, 9. Songs of Creation. I have to discard these. That's it. So here we'll pass. I just want to make a deck with this, but that discard beginning of your end step, discard your hand. I don't get it. Oh, maybe just have a shitload of mana so when you play something you can play one more thing. I don't know. At the end of his turn, we're going to 3, 4, 5, 6 dominance. Resolve. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're gonna do March of Multitudes for 8. Opponent didn't go in, sucks for him. Now we'll Lukka. A good game before. I know it's for real. We'll get rid of the human guy. Okay. Sack him. Find our End-Raze. Well, glad I at least got to show you guys once. Good game. Got him. Alright, well, NAYA tokens, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. It was a fun deck to play. I feel like it can be competitive. I just feel like I really just had bad luck, right? Or maybe it was my fault for keeping the expensive hands. But anyways, I'm gonna post this list on the description for you guys, and you know, tweak it or whatever if you come across anything better. Drop me a comment, like and subscribe if this is your first time watching. Tell a friend, please, and until tomorrow, you guys have a great day.